you must be. I apologize, your name slips my mind. That's it. I do seem to be seeing more and more of you nowadays. Maybe it's the in thing. Alright, so you are here to choose a clan today and conduct your overseer interviews, yes? Do you know what that is? Alright. How did you find out about us? Right, yes. No, that is one of our verified sources, so you should be here. Obviously, we have to protect who can and can't come, or I'd be somewhat overwhelmed. Do you know anything of our rules? The institution? Dracula isn't real. No, he was a bit of a story. Okay, no, that's alright. I can just take you through the basics, and then I will let your overseer know about your relative lack of expertise. Well then, let's start from the beginning. I work for the institution. We are, I suppose we are lawmakers for Vampire Society, just to make sure that things don't get too out of hand. We were formed about 100 or so years ago, and since then we've been tidying things up a little bit. We had a rather dicey relationship with humans before then, so I think it was definitely for the best, but not everyone agrees with that. So, I will tell you the most basic rules, and then your overseer will be in charge of making sure you don't get into any trouble. So that should include telling you the ins and outs of our society. Right. Rule number 1. No excessive blood consumption. Drinking enough to kill is very frowned upon and will probably result in punishment. No killing others of our kind, that's fairly obvious. No hunting outside of your territory. Each clan is assigned a territory, maybe a city or a county, depending on where you are. And you stick there just to minimize any issues or infighting. Let's see. No romantic relationships with humans. We find it just gets very messy. Yes, and well, every vampire that falls in love with a human wants to create more vampires, which no unauthorized creation of vampires. That is perhaps the most important to remember. We have a very rigid process here, and it will probably be instant execution if you break that one, so keep that in mind. Now then, can we just confirm some details while we're here? So, obviously, your name. Let me just check that you're in the database. Yeah. Okay. So, I don't know how you found out about us. Right. So, what is your current age? Okay. And you're alright staying this age when you turn? Yes, no more aging. There's no de-aging either. So, okay, I might need you to sign some paperwork confirming things like that later. But for now, I'll just write that in. What was your diet like as a human? Right, you don't have any reservations about blood or anything? Okay, and that's good. Oh no, you wouldn't believe it. We had one girl, she was a vegetarian, and we turned her. She just refused to drink blood. Yes, ended up starving to death in the end. It was quite sad, so I decided I would add that one in there. Better safe than sorry. Okay. And just to confirm, what was the area you were thinking of living? Alright, well, the bigger the area, the more choice you'll have with overseers, so I wouldn't recommend limiting it to a city, since you won't get much of a choice, and they all do operate in very different ways. I think you would have to meet them to understand. Okay. No, that should be fine. Yes, I think we have four clans in that area. Let me find them. Alright. Here we go. Right. Oh, I still need to get round to reprinting these ones. Yes, we had a fire a couple of years back, and you understand there's lots of paperwork. I don't always have the time to reprint. Oh no, it's alright. It's still perfectly readable and just a little messy. I'll get round to it one day. Well, this is your first choice. Yes. Many people choose Honey. She is lovely, honestly. She's been very helpful to me since I overtook the position. But Honey here likes to focus on taking care of her younglings, almost as if they were her own children. Yes, it's not for everybody, but for those who are nervous or don't necessarily enjoy the harsher clans, I think this is a wonderful choice. Yes, this might be good for you, considering you don't know too much. I'm sure Honey would take you under her wing. I don't enjoy recommending Honey's clan to people I feel might be problematic. In fact, sometimes I neglect to mention her at all because her discipline extends to a wagging finger, and that's about it. She's definitely left me with more than my fair share to sort out over the years. Oh, but regardless, I think that you should pay her a visit at least. Next up, Ronnie. Now, I don't know what you are like as a human, but if you are not athletic or brave, then this might not be the clan for you. You see, Ronnie here has a very important function in our society. Her clan are protectors of sorts. You see, we have a few issues with werewolves. Oh yes, werewolves exist too, of course. Ronnie's clan has always traditionally dealt with them. In fact, Ronnie here got her position when her previous overseer was killed by werewolves. But she certainly does the job. And, well, if you enjoy a rough and ready environment, it certainly seems like a lot of fun whenever I've visited. I'll put that there. Marcy's place is a little bit out of the way. In fact, most of them are. We tend to prefer it that way. But Marcy's in particular will be quite a journey for you. Marcy here is one of the oldest vampires I have ever spoken to. She's definitely set in her ways, I suppose you could say. I don't think she appreciated my modernizing her processes. Oh, but regardless, maybe you'll have more luck with her than me. I think she can be perfectly lovely to the people that she decides she likes. So, it is really up to you. I would encourage you to see all the overseers just for a balanced picture, since you don't have as much choice as some others have. There's only 4 of them, so you might as well, right? You have to make your choice carefully. Oh no, I've never been in a clan myself. I've always worked for the Institute. That's a little bit different. It's more like a company. Oh, well, I did all sorts of receptionist work in life, so why not carry it on into the afterlife? It's work I enjoy, to be honest, if you couldn't tell. And I much prefer it to being subject to the whims of a random overseer. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm sure you'll have a wonderful time. But if you ever did think your skills might be more useful here at the institution, maybe you could get a referral of sorts. Yes, it's quite competitive, you have to understand, but who knows? Now, last but not least, Helena. She is quite the character. Once again, doesn't like me much. It's unfortunate that I've butted heads with a few people since I've become in charge, but some people don't like change. That's the crux of it. Helena more than most. She's a traditionalist, I suppose. If you like Dracula, then perhaps Helena is the one for you. She very much enjoys the traditional looks and lifestyles of a 18th century vampire. The castles, the wine, the riches. She has it all. But she's also rather picky about who she lets in, so it might be worth talking up your achievements a little bit. Maybe some impressive bloodlines I think she has a weakness for. It's more of a case that she chooses who comes into her clan than people choosing her. Well, if you would like to try, then be my guest. I don't think she would accept me if I applied, let's say that much. But anyway, those are your 4 choices, unless you'd like to expand your area of interest. Alright, perfect. I'll put that in. So, Would you like interviews booked with all 4 of them? Good. Alright, let's book it now. She seems to be free. Let's see, Marcy. You'll be lucky to catch her at home. I never seem to manage to get a face-to-face viewing with her. I get the feeling she's avoiding me. But anyway, Ronnie, I'll book you in for Ronnie first, since she's actually not far from here. Yes, well, you get a lot of werewolf issues in the cities. It spreads a bit quicker, you know. And then it's very tightly enclosed spaces that they can go once they transform, so I believe it's quite ideal for hunting. Regardless, their base of operations is here so that they can work closely with the institution. And then last but not least, Honeysuckle. Once again, her house is a little bit of a trek. She needs the space for her rapidly growing brood, but you shouldn't worry. She will take wonderful care of you once you arrive. Oh yes, tea, biscuits, the whole shebang. She saves them for humans coming. I think she rather delights in it. Well, you are all booked in. Let me just see. Wonderful. Well, it was wonderful to meet you, and I look forward to meeting you as a vampire and getting to know you over eternity. Yes, well, I do a lot of operations work within this area, so I'm sure we'll see each other again soon. And in the meantime, think over your decisions and be a little wary when you meet some of them, especially Mousy. She can be a little dangerous. I'm sure you'll be fine. It was lovely to meet you. Enjoy the afterlife. Just a